The Fool is card 0 in the Major Arcana. And that number, 0, already says something important. It's not a beginning or an ending. It's both. It's potential, infinite, undefined, untouched by life's lessons or wounds. In most decks, especially the classic Rider-Waite, the Fool is shown as a young traveler. He wears light, colorful clothing, often with floral designs, a nod to innocence, whimsy, and playfulness. He holds a small knapsack on a stick, everything he needs and nothing more. In his other hand, a white rose, a symbol of purity and peace. He walks forward, eyes lifted toward the sky, completely unaware that he's just steps from a cliff's edge. And that's the point. The Fool doesn't walk in fear. He walks in faith. A small dog follows him, often interpreted as his instincts, his spirit guide, or society trying to warn him. Above him, the sun. Behind him, the past. Before him, whatever he chooses. So, what does the Fool actually mean? The Fool represents new beginnings. Not just physical ones, like a new job or a move, but emotional, mental, and even spiritual beginnings. It's about starting from 0, with nothing but trust, curiosity, and a little spark of magic in your pocket. When this card shows up in a reading, it's like the universe is nudging you and saying, "Go ahead, leap." You don't need to know the whole plan. You just need to trust that the journey is worth taking. In its upright position, the Fool usually signals a time of new opportunities, big decisions, fresh starts, and courageous leaps of faith. You might feel a little scared, a little unsure, but the card is reminding you, you have what you need. You don't need to pack your whole life, just your purpose. But reversed, the Fool shifts into a warning. Now it might represent impulsiveness, rushing into something without preparation. Or worse, a fear of starting at all. Maybe you're hesitating because you want everything to be perfect first. Or maybe you're leaping out of desperation, not trust. Either way, the Fool reversed invites you to pause and ask, am I being brave or just avoiding what I don't want to face? Because not all leaps are made with faith. Some are made out of fear. Still, whether upright or reversed, the Fool always asks the same thing. Are you willing to trust the unknown? Are you ready to begin, even if you don't know how it will end? What does it actually mean when the Fool shows up in a reading? Let's say you're at a crossroads. You've been thinking about leaving your job. It's safe, it pays the bills, but deep down, it's draining your soul. You shuffle the cards, and there it is, the Fool. That's not just coincidence. That's a message. The Fool is saying, it's okay to not have it all figured out. It's okay to follow your gut before your resume. It's okay to start something messy, because starting messy is still starting. Now picture this. You're falling in love, and it's scary. You've been hurt before. You're overthinking everything. You pull a card, and again, the Fool. It's reminding you, love doesn't wait for your fear to heal. Sometimes, love begins when you take the risk anyway. This card appears in those moments where logic hits a wall, where your heart is louder than your checklist, and life is asking you, can you trust yourself? Sometimes the Fool shows up before a move, before a breakup, before starting therapy, before you walk away from something that's safe but stifling. And sometimes, the Fool shows up when you've already made the leap. Just to remind you, you're not crazy, you're courageous, but here's the truth no one tells you about the Fool. It doesn't promise ease, it doesn't promise that everything will work out perfectly. What it does promise is growth, experience, and a deeper connection to your purpose. The Fool is the moment you close the laptop, buy the plane ticket, quit the job, say yes to the wild idea, or tell the truth that changes everything. It's the split second between fear and flight. The second you inhale, right before you jump. And every major arcana card that comes after, the Magician, the Lovers, the Tower, the World, is a chapter in the Fool's journey. Your journey. Because in tarot, the Fool isn't just a card. It's a mirror. A reminder that life isn't about getting it perfect, it's about getting it started. So the next time you pull the Fool, ask yourself, what leap is your soul calling you to take? Where are you being asked to begin? With no guarantees. And more importantly, what would your life look like if you trusted the unknown just a little more? This is why the Fool is one of the most powerful cards in the entire deck. Not because he knows where he's going, but because he's willing to go anyway. He believes the path will rise to meet him. And that is divine courage. Let the Fool remind you, your journey starts not when everything is ready, but when you are. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to pause and share in the comments, what leap is life asking you to take? What cliff are you standing on? And what would it take to trust the fall? If you felt the Fool today, like, comment, and subscribe to the Cards Speak Tarot University. We're just beginning our journey through the tarot, card by card, lesson by lesson, from the Fool all the way to the World. Let the cards speak, let the journey unfold, and I'll see you in the next class.